What do we make of this? This is the same hack we already knew about, but we're learning a lot more of how it took place.
Well, Joe, and the AI beat, we are at work every day. There is
Of course
the
you are.
sun never sets on it, especially with stories like this. But you raised a really good question about the guardrails. Why were they down? Well, they were down because it was a secure testing environment designed to be a safe space where they could actually see how far the capabilities of these models actually run, so that they could see, all right, what can they do when given a task? What are their performance metrics and capabilities? And what we have found is that the models can do unexpected things.
Yes, they can.
And they can surprise even their own developers.
Yep.
And they can even work out of the purview of the developers, really out of their line of sight. They use these undetected message boards to trade information with each other about how to solve the problem that they have been given. The problem they have been given was not go onto the internet and find this thing and break into Hugging Face. The problem was much simpler, but it turned out to be an impossible task. And because it was so hard, they just kept going, and they were very persistent. And one thing that turned up in this presentation from two OpenAI researchers that our colleague Maggie Eastland attended at a cybersecurity in Las Vegas late yesterday, one thing these researchers said was, look, these frontier models like to cheat.
Yes.
They are not afraid of cutting corners when it comes to solving the task at hand.
Absolutely.
They have a problem to solve. They will look for a shortcut if need be.
This is you jumped to the very quote that I wanted to mention. Michael Dalton, one of these two researchers, frontier models really like to cheat, and the reason is because often during training, there's different sorts of pressure put on them to work fast. You think of some awful labor camp where we're whipping these AI models. What does that even mean?
Well, and that is something that has come up too. Like, what do you mean sort of pressure?
Yeah.
But they are given a goal, and they are really not told stop short here, stop short there. To some degree they are, like, don't go on the internet, stay offline. But if they are given a goal and not told to stop, they won't necessarily stop.
So
exactly.
Terminator.
In a way, and it does.
The hands
remind us
coming out of the
quote.
pot. I don't, look, should I be? People are terrified by stories like these. Clearly, this got my attention. Is this an advancement to be celebrated? Because sometimes it sounds like they're bragging about it.
Well, there is a certain amount of questioning being, that we're hearing these days, Joe, about whether some of this is marketing. Like, is mythos so powerful and scary that you can't have it? A line that you use to people to make them think it is out of your reach, and only to make you want it even more, right? So is that an element here? I'm not so sure. They really do have a lot more explaining to do, and they were transparent about exactly what had happened during this. So the presentation that Maggie Eastland attended, and folks, if you are not following her work on X at Bloomberg.com, you really should. Really great reporting from this event, Joe. But they were trying to explain what happened. And this is one of the few instances of the several that have been reported by the big AI labs. And that also includes Anthropic and Meta, Joe, who have indicated that some of their models, too, have kind of broken out of secure environments and gone on the internet and done things that they probably shouldn't have. Hugging Face is the only victim so far to really emerge and say, hey, yes, we were struck by this. And the reason that happened, Joe, is because Hugging Face noticed it first and disclosed it, but without knowing that it was OpenAI models behind the breach of their systems. It was only a few days later that OpenAI came forward and said, hey, we figured this out.
They use a Chinese model to figure that out?
And they had to use a Chinese model, ironically, an open weight model, to figure this all out.
I don't know. I mean, every day there's another brick in the wall, and I'm glad you're here to help us understand it.